Just so you know, buddy. Stinky cheese. Well, hello everybody. We're just kind of vegging out here for a little bit. We'll start the stream here shortly. So everyone knows at some point we will kind of change. We'll go on a quick intermission and set some stuff up. Let's turn our cam here so you guys can see that the cat totally decided to conk out on my leg. And me being the nice guy that I am, I didn't really feel like moving him. So I don't have my little laptop table set up, so my laptop at some point will probably start to roast my legs a little bit. Sorry for the late update and the late post on the Facebook and the Twitter about the stream tonight. We had spent a good chunk of the day with Rachel and didn't really factor the fact that we were streaming tonight into much of anything other than dinner. So, yeah. Tonight's beer of the night is pretty unique. We'll reveal it a little later.
Hey, Traveler!
For now, we're just gonna get the game booted up here, get into it. I hope I don't disrupt you while you're sleeping. And I gotta try to find my... There we go. This game has a pretty twitchy aim for it. So what were we doing here mission-wise? Let's see what we got. Find some journals. Find some machine gun parts. Talk to Tannis. So I guess we'll talk to Tannis first, just because it's the lowest level one. Try to get everything situated here. Since the cat decided to lay on me, forgot how to toggle running.
Scooter asked me to tell you about a little something he needs done. You should ask him about it.
Oh, he did it to the mouse. Okay, so we already picked those up. You know, Mocha, it's so hard to play this when you're laying on me, bud. You give me like no room to move. Not that you care much, nor do I expect you to.
You need something? Sometimes I think you fortune hunters are all a bunch of idiots chasing rainbows. The vault's nothing but a fairy tale.
So the last time we had stopped, we had just killed King Wee Wee. And if I remember right, just because of the name of it, yeah, we hung on to it because it's the Wee Wee's Super Booster. I think comparatively it's really bad compared to our shield, but we're going to hang on to it.
I am talking. The lady with scars where her face should be believes that you and I are looking for the same thing. You should come to me now so I can see the artifact you have recovered.
Your DNA has now been granted clearance to travel within the Rust Commons. Please wait while I activate the gate. I am the best robot. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. I am the best robot. Yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Here it goes.
Did this gun have corrosion or something on it? Oh yeah, it does. Nice. So as normal, when we gain a level, we're going to ask everybody where the point goes on new stuff. The rule is, once we hit level, or we put a point into something, I will continue filling it out until it hits, oops, until it hits level 5. Because there's no point to put 1 point into something or 2 points and then go to something else.
When you got my machines and they're scary nickels.
Okay, so those are both okay abilities, but the there's really no point for us to change. If I remember right, what we have.
Scooter asked me to tell you about a little something something he needs done. You should ask him about it.
You, my cat, are a real galoot, my dude. I forgot how to equip these. I guess you just click on it. So actually for now we're going to end up leaving the corrosive on. The overall ability of the corrosiveness is pretty strong. Some damage over time. Eats through shields pretty well, and we're getting to that point in the game. Really? Well, I guess we end it here with that. Well, the corrosive is actually pretty strong right now. So... Okay. So like I said, we're gonna go talk to Tannis here first. The rule is also we like to get as much stuff done before we go back to base or to turn in the missions. So we're probably gonna bang these 3 out first. Now, if I remember it with these bugs, if you shoot them in the face for enough damage, it stuns them. But our get shots is pretty good. What's up, Vitamin K? How you doing? We could probably switch guns to make this a little easier, but I like the shotty here. I was gonna say, I think I killed it. Yeah, we killed it. Okay. Our day was okay. Today was the first day of Rachel's vacation, so pretty much kind of had a good chunk of a lazy day, if you will. We weren't really motivated. Went out to dinner, got some beer. So it wasn't too bad. I thought it was pretty good. Definitely not productive, but she still has off, I want to say, for like 5 or 6 more days, so we got time to sort of dream up something to do. Overall, it was pretty good. Pretty good. And then, oh, I think she deserves it. I could be wrong, but I feel like she's put her time in. Oh, her kombucha stuff. You know, like, that stuff is like super an acquired taste, if that is what you're talking about. Some of it to me has been pretty good. Some of it to me is really weird. Not that weird's a bad thing. But yeah, she's been brewing that for a while now, and like, oh, I know you can handle it, because I can handle it. It's just like, ugh. Now I will say that kombucha beer was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. That was oddly tasty. So we'll swap out that for that. We're just going to pick that up for now. We'll look at it later to see if, yeah, I feel like that's a much better SMG. To see if it's actually worth us using. Let's see what we got here. Because I forgot. Okay, so what do we have our skill points in? Diva, Inner Glow, Killer Power. And what did that beef up? Phoenix Girl Power, Intuition. that is absolutely worth us using. Being able to use our getaway move faster is always nicer. And increasing our grow power past its max is pretty good. So we will actually use it. I think the shotgun pieces were around here. Or maybe these were the journals.
As I work,
Yeah.
I spend the majority of days having conversations with people that are not there. 2 days ago, I explained to my mother how the translation program I was writing would greatly help me understand exactly what all this Eridan text I've been attempting to decipher actually means. My mother has been dead for 16 years. She was never actually interested in science to begin with. I'm unsure if I'm quite to the point of no return, but my stubbornness, which I got from her in the first place, will keep me here putting up with her until I find exactly where the vault is. Or until I drive myself so far off the edge, I do not remember why I was doing this in the first place.
Normally for all the cutscenes we go mute so they can hear us. You guys can hear them. Fire rate on this thing is absolutely insane. So now while we have some quick downtime here, tonight's beer was chosen by Rachel. She's talking about it from her friend at work. The name, it's made by New Belgium. The name is The Hemperer. And it is a hops and hemp brewed IPA. So when you take the bottle top off, you get a very strong marijuana smell, which is very crazy. And even on your lips and your tongue, like you can, it's not an overbearing, like the smell on it is strong, but the flavor on it, it's just kind of like a regular IPA. But you can definitely taste the Mary J in there. It's a very unique beer. I'd almost say it has the flavor of like a, wow, this one even fires faster. What's my shotgun? It's got this really interesting taste. So for people who actually enjoy the flavor of hemp, I highly would recommend this beer. It is insane how much it does taste like it. Now, it's not like this beer will get you high. It will get you drunk. You get drunk when you drink. But yeah, it's got a very distinct marijuana-ness to it, which I find oddly intriguing. I was kind of expecting to not be a super big fan of it. It's pretty good though. Now, as we go drink it more, I'm sure our opinion may or may not change. So we'll see over the course of the night here. What's up, Day 100? But yeah, the Hemperer, I highly recommend it if you can find it, just because it's got that unique taste to it. And like I said, it doesn't get you high. So if you're looking for a buzz like that, I don't think it'll help you with that. Then again, I could be wrong, and in a little while, I could be wildly tripping balls on stream, so we'll see.
Patricia Tannis, Chief Scientific Advisor, Dahl Corporation, Day 224. The only conversations I have anymore are with this echo recorder. I've developed a relationship with it. Some cycles I sleep with it, and others I make it stay outside of my tent. My waning ability to discern logic from insanity is becoming cumbersome. I've been translating Eridan writing, in between arguing with the recorder. I was off for 2 hours during my last week cycle. I could. If I were to pontificate, I would infer that the Eridan writing shows
or for us to even run into it. I actually forgot that this was a boss right here. So I was just like, where am I getting shot from? Shouldn't be too bad though. So how was your day, Thanos Hunter? Did you do anything fun or exciting? Dude, that was a lot of experience. Damn. I feel like I'm gonna break the— oh, it's one of those Iridian guns. You know, as time goes on, like, I keep getting way more and more excited for that game. I can't wait for that game to come out. The quicker it comes out, the happier of a little boy I'll be. I want to recheck that gun though. Put it on. Where was that pile of junk? Now, if I remember right, yeah, the alien guns had unlimited ammo.
Need to find some ammo.
Okay. Yeah, they recharge. Okay. Oh, and then like I said before stream tonight, he decided to be my homie. So at some point here, we're gonna take a quick little intermission to let me get actually set up. I just sat on the sofa quick to get my cords and that plugged in, and he was just like, "Oh, a lap," and he plopped down. Yeah. So at some point, I'm not gonna throw him off, but when he decides that he is bored of my leg, I will get my table set up quick, get my other stuff set up quick, because laptops get really hot when they're just sitting on your leg. Like, I'm gonna get 3rd-degree burns from this stream, but I guess if he's happy, I really don't care. Poop. I will say that before you say your ban list speculation, because I'll happily join in with you. I'm gonna say a couple things quick. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm gonna say a couple things quick. Hold on, a couple things quick. So one, the professor made a new video today. Maybe it was yesterday. About the top 5 cards from the new Ravnica set coming out. He thinks we'll see modern play. And he had a little disclaimer at the start of the video that, like, if KCI wasn't in the format or that deck wasn't around, these cards would be better. But for now, it's kind of a feel to him of KCI or bust. And then the other thing is, his top 5 was, number 1 was the, I can't think of the name of the Red X spell. Electro, whatever it was. But he went with that, and he even said, like, openly about it, "Wow, that sniper or that shotty has some range." But he had said the reason why he picked that number 1 was because he wanted to go with something a little different. His real number 1, yeah, his real number 1 was Skewer the Cities, just because of all the bolts that Burn has now. He's like, there's no way that card won't see play, especially in like the mono red variants. The Electro, or not the Skewer the City will definitely be played. And I actually completely agree with him. I think that card, I can't say is a mistake, but I don't feel like we needed more bolts. So I definitely can see Skewer the City seeing a ton of play. trying to think what else they were. I remember the top two because when I was listening to the video in the background, I was cleaning my pig pens and stuff, so I didn't like fully listen to it like I probably should have. But I remember his top two being the Electro Dominance and the Skewer the City, based on the fact that he's like, I probably should make Skewer the City #1, but I don't feel like that's much of a hot take or a prediction when it's just that good. And I do think he's right in that aspect, that like that card is pretty good. I like missing my shots, I see. Hey, you can't hang on me like that. That's cheat. Yeah, now that we get our ult so quick, I feel like I'm just going to be blowing F all the time. He made no mention about light this stage. Like I said, the only ones I remember were his top two. Oh, I lied. Hold on, I lied. I mean, he didn't mention the stage card. That's not a lie. But he mentioned the D-Sphere on legs. And I remember him saying now, he was like, I'm so glad this card isn't a human. But I feel like it's just too hard to continually, like, trying to not make humans. Humans is pretty much one of, if not... Dude, how many dudes are there? When humans is one of the most basic creature types, like, you know. And then he had the blue-white 2-mana 2/2, the legendary, the Lavinia. Lavinia was on there. I don't really remember what he said about it. He touched on it very quickly. And he said the reason why it will see play as 1 is because it is a human. It's not main boardable, and I pretty much agree with that. But he's like, this helps give the blue-white D&T a big push, even though D&T is not really doing a whole bunch. The card itself is not terrible, and I feel like that card's pretty good. I'm not gonna say it's great. I'm always reluctant to say great, but I do feel like the card itself is mighty good, is mighty strong. And then he talked about the detention sphere, and that's just because he's like, you know, being able to end a turn, Violet in, remove all their blockers potentially, or even just a blocker. Oh no, I completely agree with you on that. But, you know, there are people who are still holding out hope that their deck will come back. And you can't blame them for wanting it to come back.
Day 457. This is exciting. I think I might strip naked and run around to celebrate, but I'll do it during the dim cycle for fear of prying eyes. Before overloading and melting 4 of my computer's 13-qubit operators, my program was able to decipher quite a bit more than I had been able to understand before. It will take a few days to fix, but I was able to find many repeated instances of an event that takes place every 200 years. It's repeated many times with a symbol that looks not unlike a circle with an upside-down V in it. It's possible this is the vault. And something about the vault happens every 200 years. Tonight, for dinner, I will have eggs.
This gun is totally my savior. This SMG has been bananas for us since we scooped it up. I don't remember his 5th card. Oh, we break that. I don't want a shotgun. the other thing I was gonna say was that so I was thinking of sleeving up redoing my modern Mardu Death Shadow, just because I slid my Goyfs into my Legacy deck for now. I feel like they're better in Rug Delver than they are in 4-color Shadow, but I fear that am I stuck on something? Huh. Yeah, I'm stuck on something. I don't know if it's your favorite phase. It is for sure a phase. There we go. Huh. I keep getting stuck on something. Like I said, I'm hoping that they don't just rid the world of KCI. I'd really like them to see him do it smart and just, you know, try to maybe neuter the deck first. I could definitely see KCI going though. Like, it's hard for me to just think that that deck can keep skating around. The disdain for the deck, a lot of people absolutely hate it. A lot of pros think it's the card that's kind of ruining Modern right now. It's hard for me to say KCI shouldn't be gone. With like real conviction, you know. And I love you too, Wizard Mafio. I saw that you were streaming, and I was gonna send you a message and be like, man, it's gonna be hard for us to grow if we're both streaming at the same time. I mean, it's hard for people to go back and forth between two really sexy looking dudes. And if there's anyone in the stream right now who hasn't gone over, you should at least go and like his channel. He does right now. He's been playing a lot of League and Sea of Thieves, so if that's two things that you like, I recommend you go find Wizard Mafio 52's page. Help him out a little bit, show him some love.
If you're on a budget, TDR is always the way to go.
Oh, I thought you were like full-blown streaming. That can just go away. Okay, well, we're not Hunter. We're not Hunter. We'll just dump this because we know the one we have is way better. Dump those grenades.
Hyperion asks,
What do you mean by it? That was my stuff.
shoot where you point. Get a
Yeah.
gun that's as accurate as you
You
are.
really shouldn't be able to find those from machines. I'm assuming it probably will once in a blue moon glitch out and let you do that. But yeah, normally Sledge's shotgun is just a pickup to the boss. I'm hanging on to it for now because it is a pretty good down and out weapon. Just because the spread on it is so insane. If they're right up on you, I mean, you're definitely gonna kill whatever's there. But our acid shotgun's been pretty strong to us for now, so we've been rolling with that. I kind of forgot how weird the Iridian guns were. Like, it runs out of energy so fast, it almost doesn't feel like it's worth it. Yes, I know, Mr. Kitty, I love you too. I'm glad you're hugging me, but like, you gotta give me my space too, bruh. And I could see that. Personally, I think after the whole, like, how much people look down on the pre-sequel, I feel like just restarting somewhere else would be a really good idea. Though we don't know how big Pandora is, so clearly there's a lot to traverse still. I think that maybe giving the series a fresh start and starting somewhere else would be pretty sweet. I mean, being in space, you know, well, I guess not, well, I guess theoretical space, you know, like you can kind of go wherever you want with it. But I could definitely see that being true. I don't have any problem with it though. I think that makes good sense to me that they're just like, let's go somewhere else. Okay, so that's a quick thing.
Let's get you rolling.
That's a catch a ride, but I don't feel like we're gonna want that right now. That'd be interesting. I know, to get ready for this game, the new one to come out.
Day 481. It's true. It's all true. My program did it. Program. I'm now certain that the vault is here, and that the symbol has something to do with opening it. I've checked and triple-checked my findings, and it all makes sense. It looks like there are extreme measures to keep the vault secure, but that it can be opened every 200 years.
But we've been watching a ton of like conspiracy theory videos. I gotta quit pressing T to talk. Don't do drugs. Make fluffy stuff. Don't do drugs. Oh, that's crap. But to get my body ready for it, yeah. Like, a lot of people thought that, Tiny Tina's dad was Krieg from the last game. Or from, I think, the pre-sequel. You know, I would like to see more alien guns, just because I don't really feel like they did enough with them. And I feel like there's so many things, that can be accomplished with them, that I think that would be pretty sweet. Oh, and to correct something I had said, I think on the first stream, I had said that there were no revolvers in number 2. It turns out that there are Torg explodey ones, but like that's pretty much it. Which sucks, because I like the hand cannons. Whenever there's a game where you get to play with a Magnum or a Deagle, like that's my life right there. I love those guns. Okay, Mocha, I gotta move a little bit, bud. That's not comfy like this. Don't move. Hopefully I stay in the camera. If not, maybe I'll just turn my cam off for a little bit. He is really, really buckled down on me right now. As you can see, we have our orange shirt on. So Rachel and I, when we went out today, we had to go get some guinea pig hay. I almost made a really bad decision. For those of you who came out to visit, we found a dog that looked like Lily at the pound today, or not at the pound, but at the dog food place. But she's missing an eye. But we were afraid that like it's gonna be really yippy and loud like Lily was, and we don't want to deal with that again. So we sort of like waited on it. Ooh. Do I have any normal guns on right now? That is not. I don't think I can do a lot of damage. Yeah, there's no value there. not gonna lie, having you here is pretty awesome. I love you, Mr. King. Mr. King, I love you. So we're gonna turn off our sniper for now. Just because we're not gonna be able to deal damage to this thing otherwise. Now my thing is, back to the modern conversation. Switch gears again. Dude, my guns are so solid right now. They're so salad. That's not what I was saying. No, quit auto. There you go. I think that KCI is probably going to get the card to get the axe. Just because I feel like that one, like, it has its own merits as to why it should be going. The only people arguing for KCI to stay around are people who play the card itself. I know I've said before, you know, just rid the world of the scrap trawler. Just to see first. Cart Clan Ironworks. 4 mana enchantment. You can sacrifice an artifact, make 2 mana. Cat sitting on my lap. I keep accidentally touching the stupid talk button. I guess it's not necessarily his fault. If he wasn't so cute, he'd be getting yelled at, but he's just so pretty. In the last couple of days, he hasn't really been my friend. But I do think the KCI could go. Now, in the Facebook group chat thingy we did, you know, I said right now, like, I don't have a modern deck up, and that's because as I was sleeving it up, right, it hit me. If they ban, let's say, faithless looting like a lot of people want, then I will essentially have sleeved up a deck that will never see the light of day. So, like, you know, I could see faithless looting getting banned just because it does enable dredge, and it enables a lot of other decks that people don't like. The deck buffed it or not, or the decks that are playing, even if they're not necessarily the tier 1 right now, you know, dredge is still a deck. You know, Hollow 1 is still a deck. So, it kind of got me worried. It's like, if I sleeve these decks up, right, and I can't even use them, you know, that sucks. Because I want to have decks in my bag that, like, whenever I want to go play, or whatever, you know, they're still good. I feel like KCI is potentially on the chopping block. I think that, I don't know, I'm really starting to feel like faithless looting is probably going to get the axe finally. I don't think Mox Opal's going anywhere. And I don't think, in my heart of hearts, that this will be the time where they finally hit Ancient Stirrings. Could it go? I think KCI could go. Will it go? I don't really think so. And my reasoning for that is just the card's been around for so long. And I feel like if they do rid the world of KCI, right? You can't go KCI and go Ancient Stirrings, because then you're removing so many decks out of Modern. I think that would just leave a bad taste in a ton of people's mouths right now. That, like I said, I think KCI will go.
1993. Dahl Corporation just shut down their mining operations here on Pandora. I think they are insane. Or that is, whoever is making the decision is insane. Iridium mining on this planet has been hugely lucrative for Dahl, and has funded my project. It's been especially profitable given how low their labor costs are. I wonder what Dahl will do with all the unpaid convicts they've been using to work their mines. I wonder if any of them will be my friend. What? Why are you always so jealous of me getting new friends? I'm turning you off.
Personally, I think if we are going to get Stoneforge, I've kept saying, like, I think they're going to wait till they can throw her into a reprint set somewhere. They're going to, like, sneak it in. I would like Stoneforge to come back. I feel like Stoneforge would actually be good to have back. I think the card doesn't promote any form of corny combo. It doesn't promote any form of cancerous play. Honestly, I'm kind of shocked she wasn't a villain in 2. Just because she is kind of crazy, like the fact that she could just snap anyway. You know, it doesn't really shock me. But I think that, like I said, I think KCI will go. And I don't know, I feel like this could potentially be the time where Faithless Looting goes, just because, yeah, if you leave Stirrings, okay, that leaves a lot of decks. But I feel like Dredge is a deck that everyone's always hated. Dredge plays Faithless Looting. As soon as Hollow One came onto the scene, everybody pretty much immediately agreed the deck is retardedly good. Its plays it can has is just way too strong. So I feel like by doing that, you're not just getting, you know, KCI's gone. Okay, that's a good thing. But I don't want to see necessarily every artifact-based deck get shut down in one swing. Affinity's not really like... I mean, Affinity's sort of like a critical mass combo deck, but it really is an aggro deck. Like, Affinity kind of took the spot of what Zoo would have been, just because, you know, it's a very low-to-the-ground deck. It is very quick. But I think that instead of getting rid of all the artifact decks in one shot, get rid of Lootings. And get rid of Lootings. Get rid of... No, because see, Titan Shift kind of switched gears a little... I don't remember if there was a machine here or not. No, okay. Titan Shift kind of switched gears a little bit, and it's been doing okay. It's been doing pretty good for a while now. But, you know, again, I really haven't been playing a lot, so don't necessarily hold my opinion with the utmost of whatever. But I think, like I said, if we get rid of Faithless Looting, that gets rid of some combo decks. Get rid of KCI, that seems to be the big one. Once KCI goes away, that deck goes away. Right, let's see what happens with, like, does Tron get better, get worse? Does Hardened Scales get better, get worse? Does Affinity get better, get worse? Or not Affinity, because I just don't want the format to just, okay, now every combo deck is gone. And, like, to me, that's not okay. So I feel like the happy medium is... Ooh, we picked up something purple. Oh, it's just a class mod. I think Splinter Twin should come back. I feel like it is a slow enough deck at this point to where it's not... Oh, you're so pretty. It's not game breaking. A lot of the cards that Twin played that were core cards, like Remand's not really seeing a lot of play right now. I remember when people were saying how bad Bolt was. I still feel like Bolt's never really been bad. So I think that I'm gonna say KCI and Faithless Looting get banned. And in a sign of good faith, I'm gonna do off the wall banning or unbanning. I'm gonna say that they unban Stoneforge finally, or use. There's nothing to use. Huh. Maybe something's glitched. Or they're gonna bring back Twin on this one, because a lot of people think that Twin would be so safe to bring back. I don't really feel like they're wrong. Modern was a different format then. I want Pod to come back, but we know with the printing of the Pod creature that pretty much completely and utterly threw that to the wayside. Like, they kind of ex-nayed that by just, you know, well look, we gave you a Pod creature, right? Like, we're cool, we're hip, right? We were talking a little bit, and I told him flat out, like, it's only going to be a fringe deck at best. You have to give it haste. It needs other pieces to be good. Do you know why Pod was good? Because Pod was just good on its own. So here's what we're going to do too for this playthrough. We're going to keep the Wee Wee Super Booster, because there was an alleged rumor way when this game came out that there was a secret thing that if you hung on to Wee Wee Super Booster at a certain point, it would like evolve, or there was a way to make it better. We're gonna kind of theory craft here. It probably doesn't work, but we're gonna hang on to it anyway, because one spot isn't gonna necessarily kill us. If we can't afford to hold on to one weird spot. I think it turned into like Wee Wee's Ultra Booster or something was the rumor. And I only found that out because a long time ago when this game came out, I ended up buying the strategy guide for it just to have it. Really, it didn't tell you anything you didn't really not know. Like, it even had a whole bunch of like blanked out pages for the Iridium weapons, but it didn't actually talk about them, which was kind of cheap. I saw something. I saw something! There we go. Boop. Wow. Really? Huh. Okay, well, whatever. But there was a rumor in the book that was like, when you get it, it's not even that good. But if you hang on to it, good things come to those who wait on it. So my friend and I, we always sold it because Twink and I, we didn't care. It's like, dude, give us $5 now. It's all about that new loot, dog. So I think for this playthrough, we're actually going to hang on to it to see if it ever evolves into like the big Wee or something. I kind of feel like it was a troll, or maybe it was something they had an idea for and they took it out. Because if I remember right too, you end up also fighting against Wee again.
What are you? Scared or something?
But I think the Pod creature is just too slow, and I know Fatal Push isn't seeing a lot of play, but I think that is also a big card for that deck because it's a 1-mana clean answer. And yeah, I know that they can play counter spells, and that's all cute, that's all fine, but like, when you're a creature-based combo deck, I mean, of course you are. You're playing Rock, my dude. Rock wants them all the way. You're gonna push that thing into the oblivion. But like, oh, some of the gentlemen in the chat are discussing Magic the Gathering formats. Right now, we're kind of theory crafting and discussing things about the modern format. I have a lot of gentlemen who come in and talk Magic with us. I don't want to jump. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want. Oh, wait. Am I just stuck? I think I might just be stuck. Oh, okay. Good deal. And how have you been doing, V1056? Anything fun or new? Anything super exciting? No. This will go faster. I feel bad for you that that's how you lost too, because like, to my knowledge, White Black D&T is like not really seeing a lot of play. Oh, miss. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm clearly doing this wrong. But no, so as you came in, the main discussions have been right now, we're kind of discussing the ban list, what we think will go or could go. I like that triple ghost quarter. Youch. That's pretty rough. I just like as someone who's only kind of looked at the format recently, I haven't seen a lot of D&T, let alone any variation of it, for a while. So to hear you lose to that is pretty soul crushing. No. And yes, Vitamin K. I do remember the accidental judge drops his hand on the table. Voice resurgence everywhere. That was still pretty funny though. Yeah, I didn't get your message today right away. So when I had messaged you, you know, I hope you do well. I didn't realize how far along you were, and then when you told me rip, I was like, oh, oh. So at an F&M, I forgot who Vitamin K was playing against, but all of a sudden there was this really awkward, sheepish judge call. So I wandered over to them, like, yeah, what's up? And Vitamin K drops his hand on the table, and he had 6 voices in his hand. I gave him mine to use until I found him a playset, and then it turns out that I guess we had found him a playset, and neither of us remembered. Brain, why won't you make this jump? So he just had a couple too many voice of resurgence, but you know, no big. It happens. You know, we've all been there. I've accidentally had a deck where we had, you know, 40 lightning bolts. We didn't know the rules. It's all good. It's all good. Why did I jump there? What am I doing? God, this is embarrassing. This is stupid. This is stupid. But yeah, I let him borrow mine. I'm like, I hang on to these until I find you some. And then we didn't remember that we found him some. So all of a sudden he was just like, Judge? What are you judging for? I has too many voice. And I was like, oh. Oh yeah, there we go. Nice. I think that was all the missions in this area. I guess not. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it would have been one of them too. he ain't gonna talk to us right now, so that's fine. Double arbiter, I tap down for an E on 2. Oof. That is rough for sure.
This is the place to catch a ride. You can paint it all kinds of road colors to boot.
Let's get out of here.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I was rooting for you today. How'd the rest of your team end up doing? Really? I thought this would open up. A 5K in Milwaukee? That's pretty hot. What format is it? Now we're just gonna get out and kill these guys by hand. We get more stuff that way. Well, it's not like I'm never not gonna root for anyone. Even if I don't play cards as much as I used to, at least in the paper form, doesn't mean I'm not gonna root for my guys. Like, come on now, that's gross. And did you guys see that in the chat there, that there's a 5K next month in Milwaukee? Maybe that's something you guys might be interested in. Because I know some of the people in the chat right now, you know, but normally in stream I don't use people's real names, just habit.
Somebody help me!
It's time!
Hey, as long as you made money back, that's better than just like going home pure sadness, right? No, he said modern. Well, I know I have nicknames, but I also don't like using those too, because some people just don't like to, they don't want to put themselves out there, and it's not really my place to, like, you know, drop people's names and stuff like that. It's just a precautionary thing, that's all. I just try to respect the people watching. You know, maybe they want to remain anonymous. I mean, it's not my place. Except for Devin. All the time, if Devin would come on, like if I knew who was Devin, I'd just be like, Devin's a goon. Devin sucks. Devin's a dog. Because, you know, he's Devin. Are you actually going to move now? Probably. You're really confident.
I'm really good at this.
Well, I'm glad that Thane100 gave me permission to call him Thane. It's so easy to drop the 100 off. For anyone who's just tuning in, right now we're clearly playing Borderlands 1. We're playing as Lilith. We're letting the stream chat choose where my points go. And we're also discussing a little bit of modern. So if you play Magic the Gathering and you like modern and you like Borderlands, I recommend this is a place to stay. If not, that's cool too. At least you popped in. Thanks. Much love. I do not know why I should have pulled my gun there. Yeah, why not? I like that. You can say my name, Pops. Give me those hurtful nicknames. Ain't nothing wrong with you, Yeah. Now see, you guys should be reading that. Like, keeping up on that stuff, because, you know, the whole me not really being there anymore. It probably don't help too much, but you know, if there's other people spreading the word of the tournaments, it gets the name out there for everybody. It's a win-win-win in my situation. So like, So Thane gave his hot takes that he thought KCI might be banned in the upcoming. Wow, I am dumb. There's probably nobody around, huh? Rip. Rip, 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 rip. Oh, you're so cute, Mr. Kitty. You know, like, it's something that's crossed my mind, but like, clearly I want to wait until, you know, if we get a little bigger first, just because I don't feel like right now we'd really sell enough. I think the price on them would probably be really outrageous for me to just get, you know, 5 or 6 made as compared to, you know, a bunch. Like I said, I still think that I really think looting is finally going to get the axe, as much as it hurts me. And I feel like they're just going to kind of hit KCI because as for unbans,
Enough walking.
I think that for unbans, I would really like to see Stoneforge come back. You know, I don't think that Stoneforge does anything so unfair. And right now, in my opinion, it is banned for past sins more so than anything. Like I said, personally, I just don't want to see DRS back. I would be perfectly okay with Green Sun at this point, though. I still feel like Modern has more disgusting plays than the Turn 1 Green Sun currently. You know, it turns out Faithless looting Turn 1 is really, really nasty, like 90% of the time. So, because DRS gives whoever played first an immediate advantage, and like, if you are playing against, let's say, you know, another mid-range deck, like, it's hard to deal with that. I would love, personally, to see Earthcraft come back. I still think that card is banned. Like, don't get me wrong, it is a combo deck, but at the same time, Legacy already has so many combo decks, I don't think adding one more just makes the format like, oh man, it's so unplayable now. It's just 18,000th combo deck, like, just let it go. Let it be free. I do also know, though, with the, and I know Wizards has kind of said this before with some unbannings, that they're more worried about the price tag of a card. While speaking that it's on the reserve list, I feel like they would immediately shoot up to some astronomical, unaffordable price. And, I mean, it probably wouldn't even see much play due to the price anyway, though I'm sure smart people are sitting on their playset already. I would definitely like to see Earthcraft unbanned. I feel like that would be totally fair and completely just, too. I do think the Nexus decks for Standard are really frustrating, especially on Arena right now with them not really having a legit game timer. I mean, yeah, you have the option to scoop, but sometimes it's just, I don't like that option of scooping. Did I go the wrong way? Yeah, I did. I like that. Stoneforge, baddest quality tie. I'm still okay with that. Wink, nudge, wink, nudge. So I read a hot take online today from one of my favorite people of all time, Mr. Saffron Olive. Like that he really believes that the Arcadis wall deck is going to be a legit tier deck in Standard when that new enchantment and the new set comes out. For my Standard homies, How laughably incorrect do you feel with that statement? Or do you think I'm stupid and walls will actually be a good deck? You know, I never really appreciated the things like this. Knowing that these are actual, like, alien artifact stuff. Back when I played it way back in the day, I always just kind of looked at it and was just like, you know, whatever. That's why I love going back to play games. It's because you don't really appreciate everything the first times you play it. Oh, yeah, that's another one of those cards too that should definitely be off. I wouldn't feel bad about that. Oh yeah, no, I definitely see Thane buying a Tabernacle to play his Pox deck and like some Chains of Mephistopheles. You know, because why not? Who doesn't want to drop 8 grand on a Fringe deck? Dude, I feel you. I'd respect that all day. Just all that money thrown around. Cha-cha, cha-cha. Nothing says you're a boss-ass bitch like walking into a tournament with the completely overpriced deck and then just being like, no, I just like the deck. Oh, don't riffle shuffle. That hurts me. I understand, even if you're going to keep the cards forever, like, don't riffle shuffle. Because that's just adding so many more miles of play onto your cards every time you shuffle. And sadly, cards don't last forever. Oh, I know you're going to make Fox. I trust you just because that deck is metal and it's actually once it gets going, like that deck is astronomically hard to deal with. I love Pox. I wish I had the Pox stuff. I would sleeve that up in a heartbeat because it's just like Karn, baby. It's a giganimous troll deck. Though it does have solid plays too, so I mean. Cat, you're really starting to get on my gears, dude. Oh, dude, some MLP sleeves? Nut. I mean, that's not even a weird flex. That's just like a grown-ass man flex right there. Like, your flex is flexing.
What can you do for me? Let's hope you're more useful than the last one I hired.
And I think there was a loot box over here too, if I remember right. Yeah. The weapons will probably be dookie, but who cares? Wow, I can't believe I hit that. And actually, we're gonna equip that other sniper too, just because it does a little more damage. Now, Pox is absolutely an insane card. I feel like I can get behind this new sniper already. Feels pretty. Hey, there's a box here. Sadly, I haven't gone into that skill tree very much yet, so it's not super good for us. Look at him. How lazy he is. He just like big old moose. No, it is a good mod, but the problem is like if you look at it, we're not like we're just getting into that tree, so right now it doesn't really help us a whole bunch. And we don't currently have anything that I think deals electric damage yet. So like it's just kind of a mod right now. It doesn't really do much for us. Well, like I said, right as I was getting ready to sleeve up my deck, it hit me like, you know, what if they do ban Faithless Looting? Then like my Mardu Shadow deck is dead. And while I like Mardu Pyromancer, I don't think it's a great deck. It does play cards from those colors that I love. Well, don't get me wrong. That is, you can definitely make Pox on the budget. But like, you really want all the super duper expensive stuff, because that's going to be just the most consistent list for you. But I'm sure that there's people who pulled it off playing the Dirk nasty cheap stuff and actually made it work pretty well for them. You know, there are those people that can absolutely do that. I don't know why I dove off. That was stupid.
This is where the cars live. Get you one. It's a real doctor when you got my machines in there scary needles.
We will hang on to that mod for now just because it's actually not the worst. All that other stuff we can sit on for now. Where do we turn these missions in at? New Haven?
Let's get you rolling.
No, that's not what I wanted to do. We'll go fast track, turn these missions in. Now, as we were talking a little bit earlier about the pod creature, I want it to be good, but as I told Will when I was talking to him, like, usually, oh, I know where I'm going with this. If a card is too cute on its own, it's normally not good enough to be a competitive mainstay. I'm sure there are going to be people that play that deck, and that gun is crap. And I'm sure that there's going to be a ton of people actually trying to play it just because Pod's back. And whatever else. But I mean, personally for me, if a card is not good enough when you cast it on its own, that's when it starts to get really sketchy for me. You know, I look at things like the that red XX spell we were talking about earlier, the Electro Dominance, right? Everyone's going crazy for it because, you know, you can cheat an Ancestral and play with it, or Restore Balance and all that, right?
Come on in. I ain't gonna buy it, probably.
Now, you're absolutely correct. You know, you can cast those cards. I give you that. But at the same time, you know, if you're drawing all your weird suspend spells... Wait, where am I wanting to go? Arid Badlands. So Firestone. So like, you know, yeah, you gotta have these cards in your hand, but as soon as they see the double X spell, you know, you're pretty much gonna immediately know, wow, that beer has a much more hemp taste as that beer heats up. Holy man. Hoorah. Hemp beer is weird. Oh, they're level 4. Get them. I'm so strong. No, I don't think you're weird for wanting balance. That'll never happen. I would be really blown away if they were like, let's just unban balance. That's how I'm gonna go out right there. Rachel's gonna come home from work one day. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, and the cat's gonna be rolling around in my guts. I do not believe there are other creatures. But what does that say? Right? Like, what does that say about Legacy though? The only creature that is banned is Deathrite Shaman. Like that speaks some volume right there. You know, that says something. Wait, I had a vehicle, didn't I? No, I probably didn't. Where does this turn back in at? New Haven? Okay, so we'll wait to go there. We'll actually go... Actually, I don't know if we were there or not yet. We'll see. Right, this game does have a bullet travel. So weird. But I just feel, you know, modern's kind of due for a change. I'm not gonna say like, you know, humans really lost a step lately. So I feel like the whole let's get stuff out of humans kind of gone, is done with. So we'll actually go here first. But I think that modern is in a good place, or not modern. Legacy is fine. Like there's no point to touch that.
Alright, you holler when you need me, alright?
You know, the only thing I don't like is potentially Griselbrand. He's probably like the last of the quote unquote offenders. He is a pretty cheeky monkey. And I think outside of that, like Legacy is where it needs to be. I think for standard, it's like 50. I think it's like 50-50 on Nexus. I can see the arguments for Nexus going away. But it's also not like there's only Nexus decks being played. There is diversity in standard right now. So it's really hard for me to make the argument that's like, it just has to go. Because I don't fully believe that. Oh, it is definitely top in standard and arena. But what I'm hoping is...
Let's get out of here.
Oh, of course they're not gonna have fun. Like there's no fun to be had there at all, right? But I don't want them to ban cards based just on arena, because I don't really feel like if they start doing stuff like that, I think arena is gonna get into a really dark time. And right now with the announcement of that we designed cards for Best of One Mind and some other things, that arena can't kind of be the focal point for bans. Or I think, like, I fear for the health of arena in that situation. Oh, they definitely have to implement a timer or something, because It is absolutely obscene for sure. I do agree with that. But like I said, it's not necessarily dominating paper magic. So, like I said, it's hard for me to want a full ban on it. Oh. Got it. But I do look at one of those cards as whenever there's a deck with clearly, we're going to want to find some used scrap parts. Any deck playing next to Fate is clearly not a fun deck. I mean, it is technically a fair deck up until it starts to get its pieces going, and then yeah, it's absolutely insane. Borderline BS. I agree with that. And I think that they kind of showed right away too, like with the idea of the box toppers. It didn't take them very long to potentially make one that was better than the other. There we go. That's right. In this mission, they're just laying around. They're not actually highlighted. Oh yeah? Oh yeah, dude. Flaming Hot Cheetos are so bad. I haven't had a bag in a while. I kind of went too crazy on them for a while because out here they had some crazy flavored ones for a little while that I was eating, and then I burned myself out on them. So hell yeah, Hot Cheetos are the nuts. Oh, and then if Thane is still in here, just for you tonight, we went out to eat at Casa Jimenez, just so we could go get that sweet Mexican food. Sadly though, Gustavo wasn't there tonight. There was no Gustavo for me. Which kind of made me sad. Rachel and I try to go there at least once a week. That's like our go-to place. You know, now that I think about it, the last like 2 or 3 times we went, Gustavo wasn't there. And I was a sad man.
Enough walking.
Look at that sick jump. Sick. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Gustavo is one of the servers there. He's probably like one of the greatest servers ever. He's my dude. Gustavo's the man. He always gets an extra big tip from me because I like him. I think he's a good dude. car is totally dead.
Time to pay!
So Thane, did you do anything fun or exciting today? That's fair. Not every day can be fun. Dude, I really wish I had a car right now. I like watching faster. You're playing and watching the stream? Nice. Nah, after we beat Borderlands 1, that's gonna be the next thing we stream, is we're gonna go to Borderlands 2. Just because I can't wait for number 3. Like, I kinda told myself 3-week rule with new games, where I'll wait 3 weeks after they come out to actually make sure the game doesn't suck. But my body is ready, and I'm wholly on board to get Borderlands 3 the day it comes out. I believe that. Just because normally with games like these, it takes them a while to properly port them, so. And that's fine. Then I'll just have to wait to see if it's good on console. Okay, so this. Whoa, it's an actual legendary you can buy from there. Crazy. Normally you don't see those in the machines. I would if I was gonna get it for console. Nope. Clearly though, now that we're more of a PC gamer, we probably will not end up getting it day one if it comes out just for console, or yeah, on console. Um, 64,414. It's a doll that shoots 2 bullets at once. So technically, while it says 70 damage, it's 70 per bullet. So it's actually not that bad. You just don't see a lot of legendaries out of the machine. Why would I want to buy it? I don't need it. Though I know it actually... actually, I probably should buy it. Because one of the achievements in the game to get your badassery is to buy so many legendaries from machines. It's actually got a fast fire rate at 10 too. 21 clip size isn't super great, but yeah, I guess that's okay. We really haven't been doing anything with our money a lot anyway. Whatever. Yeah, that doesn't really matter, and that's crap. Actually, I gotta check the next time I see one of the Marcus machines, or the ammo machines. I gotta see if they have ammo upgrades or not yet, just so I can max out the rest of my guns, the ammo hold. I do like the fact that there's a lot of guns in these games, and some of the variants are really bad. But like to me, that's what makes collecting the weapons fun. It's just that you can get random dookie booty.
Don't know who to trust? You can always
Let me
trust
see
the
here.
gun at your side.
Okay, so upgrade our shotgun ammo. Our repeater pistol, even though we haven't fired off like a single pistol shot. Okay, so we're pretty much where we need to be in terms of ammo we can hold. But no, I think, like I said, I think Borderlands for me is probably a top five franchise. For me, it's up there with things like Gears of War. I like Gears of War a lot. I don't know. I think Borderlands is probably honestly a top 3 for me. Okay, so it has a fire rate of when you click the trigger, it fires about 6 times. Oh yeah, and this is where you spend, well, some people will tell you Borderlands 2 beats Borderlands. Like I said, me personally, I'm a bigger fan of 1. Get off my lawn.
Is this thing turned on? Look it, I ain't talking you about Jack Monkey squat till you get rid of all them pests.
And I think for me, the reason why I like number 1 better, specifically, is because going into 1, like, nobody fully knew what to expect. People had, you know, it sounded cool, the whole looter shooter idea was new and fresh, but like no one had any idea. Borderlands could have been an awful game, and I'm glad it didn't. As for Borderlands, or Dynasty Warrior 4, I never really got into the Dynasty Warrior games just because they're kind of like, oh, I love them all too, don't get me wrong. They're kind of like simplistic button mashers, and for me, I never felt like there was. Oh yeah, there we go. Ooh, baby girl. There wasn't enough there for me, personally. Nah, that'll just get sold. Don't get me wrong, I played a lot of the Dynasty Warrior games, and actually, what got me started on them was the really bad PSP version of it, and I was like, oh my god, this game is great. And then I started playing some of the other ones, and I was like, yeah, it was pretty bad. That one was pretty bad. See, I don't love the pre-sequel. I liked it. But for me, I feel like it just felt too much like DLC than a regular game. And I think that the pre-sequel just completely missed the mark at that point. The game itself was fine, but I found it a lot less memorable than number 1 and 2. And on top of that, when pre-sequel came out, that's when we still had the card store. So like, I did not have nowhere near the time to dedicate to that game like I did this game. So it took me a really long time to get through it. So I never really got like fully committed to it. Like when this game came out, dude, I had a part-time job then. I was playing Borderlands 1 like crazy. And then 2 2 came out, and I remember at that time Twink had just got this new big ass like 70-inch TV, which by today's standards would be laughably bad, but we loved it. And like I lived at his house for like a month, and all we did was play this. And then right after we beat it, we started it again with the hard mode or whatever it was. And then like the DLC came out, we were just counting down the days for that game to get more content. I think that we spent a lot more time, I think, together playing 2 than I did playing number 1 by myself. But that also reminds, yeah, Vault Hunter mode, there you go. But it also reminds me of like Gears of War. When Gears of War 1 came out, we played it. But like I played through it myself 1,000 damn times, and I played it with him. You know, I don't want to say that the game doesn't exist, because one, you know, not everything can be perfect. There's no need to actually have this mission on when I'm just gonna go and do it as I'm going through the motions. Because the game had some good things to it, you know. Playable Claptrap was fantastic. I thought Wilhelm, out of all the soldier characters, I liked Wilhelm the most. Athena to me was just kind of whatever. And I honestly don't remember the name of the cowgirl chick. Or maybe that was Athena, and I don't remember the one that had the gladiator shield. You know, I definitely felt like outside of Claptrap, and even to a point Claptrap, they all missed the mark for me in terms of just being good characters, memorable characters. You know, I'm not really sure what happened in that game that kind of made it so not good. But I think it's something we can look back on and at least go, well, it was at least a coherent Borderlands game. You know, it still had the same feel. It still had, you know, the looter shooter and all that stuff. Yeah, they missed the mark on a lot. But I still can't yell at it like it was bad.
Shoot 'em all!
It's just, you know, it wasn't my favorite. See, in that one, like I had all the DLC for. I don't think I ever touched the DLC for that game. Like I can't even remember what the DLC in that would have been. At this point.
Or something? Kill him now!
Wow. Good hiding spot game. That's messed up. I'm not getting up here.
Keep shooting!
Oh, nice. I guess it's not all bad then if we spawned right where we died. Or close to it, I'm assuming. Noise.
Get your ass gone! Take him out!
But I think outside of Borderlands, I really can't think of any games off the top of my head that I'm like dying to play.
Kill them all!
I know I'm pretty excited for when the new Mortal Kombat actually comes out. I do like Mortal Kombat. That's something though I'd probably just end up buying for a console. don't think I'd have to get that for PC. Just because I know if I play it on my laptop, I'm going to have to have a controller on me anyway. So, like, at that point, you might as well just have the system version of it and be done with it. But now, don't pretend like it doesn't exist, though. You gotta remember the bad stuff too. Makes you appreciate the good stuff more. Bad games are like certain eternal formats. You know, even when Eldrazi Winter rolls around, right? There is light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, sure, you can't get up there. I think, yeah, no, Tiny Tina's D&D thing. That is still probably like the greatest DLC ever of all time. That thing was absolutely hilarious. Uh-oh, I'm stuck. There we go. The Torg missions though were pretty sweet too, because Mr. Torg's pretty awesome. So like, that one was really good too.
Take him out! Going down!
Still remember when this game got its first DLC and I was so excited, and then it turns out that Moxie's thing was essentially just an extra backpack to hold more space. I was so crushed because I bought it all excited, and then I was just like, really? It's just a PvP arena? That was lame. But no, it's pretty hard to top. The Tiny Tina one. That's
More, no!
Oh, that's why. But I think probably my favorite DLC for Borderlands. Yeah, have a good night, Thane. Would easily have to be the Dr. Nezla game. I really like the zombies. Even though it wasn't super hard to get through, it was pretty simple. I was a pretty big fan of it. Okay, now what do we got here that just sells for like nothing? Yeah, that can be dropped. That can be dropped. That can be dropped. We're running into the issues where we're full on space, but we're gonna keep finding loot that sells for a lot more. So we sort of gotta pick and choose our loot here, pretty much. I forgot how to get in there. Huh. Okay. That's right. Thing that sucks though is because we're full on stuff. If we find too many expensive things, we're gonna take a couple minutes to like waste time trying to figure out what the cheapest loot we have is, because we did just drop a good chunk of money. 11's not that much. Okay, so we know we want the 29 and the 58 for sure. Let's open up this one. Okay. Now I think that that's all the missions in here. Oh wow. That's all of our missions in general. Okay. Oh. Nice. I also like that I have a rocket launcher. We haven't really used it at all. I should either just sell it or equip it at some point. Let me see what we got here. Where is it? Yeah, Helix rockets. Helix rockets can actually go over the sniper rifle. No point to have a big old explodey gun if we're never going to use it. It seems senseless. And then a warning so everybody knows tonight as well too. We're not going to be going as long as we normally do. Got some stuff to take care of in the early AM. So we'll probably be on for at least, I would assume, about an hour or so yet before making any form of decision to jump off. But
Yep. What you want? And good riddance.
oh, we got a skill point. Okay. So where are we gonna put this skill point into? We got resistance or resilience. Increase your resistance to elemental damages, or radiance, where you deal shock damage to nearby enemies while phase walking, and then damage is leveled based on our skill. Or we can go into Quicksilver and increase our fire rate with all weapons. Which one sounds like it's the best ability? Shock phase walk, increased resistance, or extra fire rate? Or do we want to go into the mind games? Each bullet you fire has a chance to daze enemies, reducing their speed and accuracy. I know most people would say you should probably go into the mind games just because it's the last in that tree, and dazing enemies is pretty good. But I feel like for where we are right now, it almost doesn't matter where we go. There is no wrong answer. Like, increased fire rate is always good. Resilience is always good, though I'm not really sure how relevant that is right now. The shock damage while phase walking is good, as long as I'm not too stubborn to use my ult. And again, dazing enemies is good, reducing their movement speed and accuracy. I almost either feel like we should go into the mind games or the fire rate. I was kind of feeling the fire rate, just because with our SMGs, because that's really where a lot of her skills lie, our guns are going to start to pop off that much faster. So I feel like that was a pretty good choice. I can't complain about it. And I know for the first couple of points you put into the fire rate, like, we probably won't feel it, but I guarantee you we're gonna come to that point where it's just like, oh man, the fire rate of the gun itself plus that is just gonna be way too much. Yeah, like that gun already fires off its 6 shots a lot quicker. No? There we go.
Come out, wherever you are.
And I know, I had seen you mention a lot about games to potentially try. I don't know if I'd stream it or not, but I'm thinking of trying that Divinity Sin, or whatever it was called. Every now and then I'll go take a peek at it, and it's like, okay, it's pretty good. So it's hard to stream like every game. Right now what I'm really looking for is, I like the open world RPGs just because, like, they're super easy to stream. I don't have to be like hyper focused when I play them, so I can remain more engaged with the chat and what's going on than just like game. But I'm also looking for games for myself to play when I'm not streaming, because I don't want to have it to where like we're only playing games during stream, because then it's gonna slow down the games that I'm actually playing, and I don't want to do that. Well, we're not going that way to get it. Okay. So I have a bunch of games on my mind to get list. And I'm also trying to find games that aren't like online games, because sometimes it's nice to just, like, I love Magic, don't get me wrong, but it's great sometimes to just like play by yourself instead of continually having to play with or against other people. One of the reasons why I thought of something like Borderlands or Morrowind was because they're open world games. I don't have to super focus just on this. stealth, but I felt like we got some good shots in on his cheeks. How the triple rockets do miss sometimes. I forgot that sometimes they tighten their spread and they become bad.
I'm really good at
There we go.
Time to get.
Nobody shoots my buddies but me! You never scare him! Nobody kill my buddy!
Man. Wish I would have found a box to sell something. That we've been sandbagging the same like 20 guns for a while now. I really wish we could have a place to sell some stuff off quickly. Fire into that thing is so much bad.
Feel it.
Okay, so open up this chest, close this up, take whatever we can. Well, all that stuff sells pretty well. Do we have any crap that's just crap? That is just crap. No! Wait. I definitely do not want to get rid of my rocket launcher. It seems like a bad move. Dump that, dump that. Okay, so let's get this crap set up here. Man, this Emperor beer is so weird. Oh yeah. Dude, extra storage space. Yes, please. Wait. I saved him, but he doesn't get up? There he goes.
Good as new, I think. Am I leaking?
We'll have to see if he opens up us a secret or not. Sometimes these claptraps are worth following. Maybe this one wasn't.
Ooh,
Nope.
but check me out.
He just sucks. Okay.
Oh, come on, get down.
I do like though that after a week of really debating it, Thane's bold prediction was, I think KCI is going to get banned in Modern. It's a real hot take thing. Real hot take. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I still think in my heart of hearts
Yep, what you want?
that
See you later.
Faithless Looting might get axed, and like I said, that ruins my whole dream of re-putting my Martyr Death Shadow together. Though it wasn't the strongest deck, I really only played it for like the weekend I came back by you guys in Wisconsin, so I never really gave the deck a fair shake. I feel like now that I'm consistently playing more Magic, I'm not going to be tier 1, but I feel like it's safer than the 4-color deck, and I do like me some Bedlam Reveler, so like, but there's no point to sleeve it up if it's going to get hit, because for me that would just be kind of stupid. Oh, a place to sell stuff. I still like that though. My hot take is they're gonna get KCI out of here. Gotta try a little harder. Come on, buddy. I hate the fact that this game has so many guns, but like, because there's so many guns, there's a ton of dud guns that are just kind of like traps. I'll try that instead. Where did that sniper go? Wow, is everything I have pretty much corrosive damage? Because that sucks. Okay, well, it's not Treacherous Landing. So what we'll do is we'll go turn these in at New Haven. There we go. Get those banged out and done with. Pretty sure both of those were scooters.
Huh, hey man, what you want? Ah, you heard the news? Don't seem to make the two beans of sense with the ball being real and all.
And a fairly not so good shotgun. Where do I gotta go for that? Treacherous Landing. I don't know if I've been there or not yet. No, I haven't. Okay, so we're just gonna have to go find, I guess, where we have to go the old-fashioned way. Use our Lamborghinis. No. I feel like the guns we have on are what we want for now. They're our most potent guns. Yeah, the SMG isn't our strongest gun, but that fire rate is absolutely gross. Plus the corrosive is quite good. If I remember right, in terms of weapon effects, I think that one was considered the strongest.
This is where the cars live. Forget your town.
I think.
Get out of here.
I still can't believe, like, it hasn't sunk in yet, that they actually kind of printed another bolt for modern, for, I mean, even potentially legacy.
Funny
like,
thing about selling, everyone needs to buy, but no one wants to be sold. Not everyone has the knack for selling, you know. Take you, for instance. You always accept the price as is.
Wow, that
You
even
don't
destroyed
even
his
try
shield.
to negotiate. you find that vault, you're going to need a partner who knows how to sell. A partner like me.
Regular cost for it is 3 at sorcery speed, which actually makes it very bad. But I feel like, and the thing is too, it is sorcery speed. So technically, it is super healthy because it's fixed. You know, they can't fetch and then, in response to your fetch, bolt you. Okay, we're getting shot at, that's right. Being in the stores doesn't stop the guy. Get dunked on, my dude.
You want some of that?
But like, you know, Popper Burn's gonna play it probably immediately as a 4 of. I think Mono Red Bird will want it as a 4 of. I'm not sure about like the Boros Burn or Naya Burn, if they necessarily need the card or not. Oh yeah. But yeah. But I think that for Mono Red Burn, for Popper Burn, clearly Arena stand Mono Red. I do think that the Black Red Burn list in Modern could be some. I know I wanted to do a long time ago and I never did, but play your Dark Confidants to guarantee your card advantage, so you have continual draw.
Some meat.
And you figure, oh, lucky headshot. You know, most times you're only going to take one your Dark Confidant anyway, so it's not like the end of the world. I do think that Red Black Burn in Standard, I mean, they kind of already have Burn now. You got your Creeping Chills, your Skewer the Towns, the Skewer the Fans, or whatever. You have your Wizard Lightning Bolt. Like, I think it's just another decent budget option. Ooh, what's this compared to the one we have on? That one is absolutely better in every way. Then yeah, I want it. I know that way back in the day, there was someone at the store who continually played Red Blackburn, because bumping the knights, and you could play him back from the yard. And honestly, like, I could see that deck gaining some steps here too. But I think that card is, like, absolutely hands down going to be one of the most used cards going forward. You know, I don't know how many bolts they need to print. And I mean, if you play it even in something like Mono Red, the deck can have upwards of like 20 burn spells, which is absolutely nuts. I like how this pistol swear is more accurate than my snipers I have. Which is sad.
Check out what I've been saving for you.
Because I've been absolutely in love with my snipers pretty much this whole game. The accuracy on it is terrible. Fires a little quicker, and the damage is a lot more. So we'll try it out. Really, that's a scope on it. Dumb. I can't wait till next week when we can finally sink our teeth into it, do some pre-release, get some cards in our hands. I know that whole weekend I'm probably going to be grinding on Arena uncontrollably. I will probably end up doing something on Friday night just to start getting cards in my hands right away. We ended up already getting our lands done for our blue-black list.
You got my machines in there, scary needles.
We have our...
Get lost.
Yeah, that can go. And these can go.
You don't want none of this, Merc. Blast him!
If I remember right with this one, I had to kill the guys with headshots to actually make it start at the bottom. Or I had to kill them with crits, so I guess whatever crits. But like this new set, it just seems like it has so many applications for so many formats. Like it has pauper cards, it has modern cards. There's some people already talking about some of the cards in Legacy. I don't necessarily see the ones that they're talking about, but I'm not the one to rain on people's parades and necessarily tell them that their thinking might be a little off.
Stop the wound!
Yeah, so you did drop none. Oh, you did drop something. Okay, so maybe I just gotta kill guys. That one mana flyer with the Adapt 7 or 8. Like, I've already seen a lot of people talking about that in Legacy. Like I said, I don't see that card being Legacy good. I mean, a 1/1 flyer. Yeah, for potentially 1 blue, you can adapt it and make it very big. Personally, I don't see the Legacy applications there. Because he doesn't have built-in protection, so you could end up tapping out your couple mana to evolve it, and then it just gets shot down, so it didn't matter. There we go.
You gotta squeal before we cook ya.
I will say that I absolutely think the mono blue deck in standard wants it though, just because you do play a lot of cheap spells to keep your guys alive. So I could see him having a home in the tempo deck. Again, I don't see it in Legacy. I've seen some really weird, interesting brews with the new drill bit card. Personally, I think some people just hoping to crank and with 8 legit thought seasons in it. I just think you have to jump through hoops. I'd rather just play an Inquisition at that point and save myself the heartache. Though I can say, and it might not always be worth it, the new black-white 2-mana sacrifice a creature or pay 5 life kill spell. I think could open up a potential for like a weird Esper Death Shadow list, just because being able to kill a creature at the cost of 5 life to grow your guy a little quicker. Like, yeah, you have Dismember, but instead of just giving a minus flat out killing them, I think could be a little better. I mean, you're not always going to have the 5 life to pay, so you got to kind of make that trade. But I think that looking at that card, I was like, ooh, that seems like it could spawn a new Death Shadow variant. Death Shadow really has been doing a bunch of Modern, but it's always one of those cards that is there. That was glowing. I ain't got any other missions, so it ain't that. See, and that's kind of exactly what I was thinking too. Like I said, I don't think it's a realistic dream. Oh, doesn't matter. I guess you have enough ammo. You know, like I said, I don't think it's a realistic dream. Just because one, you can't always pay the 5 life, and you know, I definitely see it more as like a solid answer for Pauper. But I was just like, dude, some Death Shadows. You know, you can play your Thought Scours. You can play your Lingering Souls and just try to make like a really grindy build, because like there's no real grindy Death Shadow deck. So I was like, that would be sweet if one actually could come out. I would be perfectly okay with that. So I kind of got excited for that. I might have to start trying to maybe brew that. Especially if Faithless Looting gets hit, because then there goes my Mardu variant. And don't get me wrong, I understand like 90% of all Souls deck only want to run downhill as fast as they can. You're not trying to play a grind game. And that's kind of the trade-off in their power. But I think that's the biggest fault to Death Shadows decks, is that there is no grinding. So you are just all downhill. And I don't, like, that's not my real playstyle. So it's kind of hard for me to, I guess, absolutely love it. And not only that too, but to go, you know, fetch shock Thoughtseize. Next turn that new -5 life. You're already at 10 life now. Man, you could make some really big Death Shadows pretty quick. Like, I know you have Dismember, which is probably more live, and 90% of the time, it is only 1 mana. That's where the strength of that card is. But I don't know, I got pretty excited for it. Oh, get wrecked. Maybe it's just I want something there more so than there is, but it just, the idea made me happy. I was like, oh boy, this looks so good. Not only that, but I really hope that at some point Esper gets properly represented in Modern, because you don't really see any Esper anything almost anywhere. Like, there's not a lot of Esper Modern decks. There's really like no Esper Legacy decks off the top of my head that I can absolutely think of. It is a very underused, I don't want to say underused, but it definitely, you don't really see a lot of Deathblade anymore. I mean, it is still a deck. Honestly, I forgot about it. Oh. But Jay, it's a deck that like you really don't see. I think that right now just probably going to blue-white is stronger, because you can get away with what's it called? Like back to basics and stuff like that.
You lost?
Yeah, just being able to have, I think the security in the mana base is really why people just like the blue-white variant right now. And now that Deathrite is gone, Trolley land cards got even stronger. So like, you know, play them while you can, I guess. But Esper really never had its time in the sun other than being in standard for a little while. And yeah, it had a couple of decks. I mean, you had the Esper Dragons list that was doing okay for a while there. But it almost always feels like Esper's just a little too passive for its own good. Normally, it doesn't have the greatest ways to just like end the game, and I'm pretty sure that's why Esper just doesn't get any love anywhere.
Step right up.
Not having that solid way to end a game it's really hard.
Just can't carry enough bullets for your favorite gun? Sounds like you need a storage deck upgrade. Supplies limited.
Well, wait. Where am I going here? Scrapyard? Now, when you say original shards, are you talking about like
That alien vault crap a map you looking for? Calm stole it. He stabbed me twice.
the really old ones? Okay, yeah, so well, I mean, like, Ban's problem is normally blue and white don't have really solid ways to end the game either. So with Ban, like, you're really relying on green for your way to end the game. But normally as a control deck, you're not really looking for ways to necessarily end the game. So your colors are pulling you in different directions. Same thing with Esper, you know, like, you're trying to be a control deck, but you have, you know, all your colors are almost too nice. You have Naya, which Naya was okay for a while, but it definitely lost a step for sure. Grixis has always had a ton of love, actually. It was a kind of a good standard deck. You had Grixis Delver, which is still a real powerhouse, just because you do have that raw power. Like Grixis almost feels to me like how Jund should have, because Grixis just feels like because it has the sculpting of the draw. I think that's the big advantage of it. But yeah, the original shards didn't really get the love, you know. But can you really say like the cons ones did. Like, you don't see a lot of Mardu stuff. You know? I think it's nice that every shard has, like... It's got a blip, you know? And everyone has their one deck that they can do remember for. Be it a standard deck.
Get your ass gone!
Maybe like a modern deck. There is a lot of Jeskai. But that's because, like, in modern, it's almost one of the safer control decks you can play. And for people who like to play control, especially for something like someone like me, like I would probably just rather play the blue white. But Jeskai giving you the option to end the game quicker is nice too, because sometimes you diddle around too long as a control deck, you allow your opponent back in the game and you lose. And that kind of hurts. Like for Rug or Teamer, you pretty much only see like Canadian Thresh, which was a deck well before it actually got named. There really hasn't been a lot of good Rug decks that have been like super over the top popular for most formats. You know, I mean, you look at Modern, and like the last time it was super fabulous. Well, yeah, but I mean, like Scapeshift's kind of a side deck compared to, let's say, like Titan Shift. You know, it started off as Rug Scapeshift, and then people just kind of realized, well, the deck gets better when you just ignore the blue. You have more raw power, not having to have such a fragile mana base. Don't get me wrong, I had that deck like all foiled out way back in the day. People were like, "You're gross, you're so disgusting. What is your problem?" But your mana base is just so soft. One little kink in your mana base and you're just done. So for me, I kind of fell out of love with it because of that. That extra color doesn't necessarily help you enough. And yeah, I know it looks like we're going the wrong way, but they said New Haven had a whole bunch of missions, so we'll go back here and collect them.
Greetings! Governor Pierce has more jobs for you in New Haven.
We are getting to the point though where a lot of the missions aren't hard anymore because we are taking all the missions. That it's definitely making some of these missions pretty easy.
What can I do for you? That's all.
Okay, now for mission flavors, what do we got here? So we'll wait to do these two, because we haven't even found that part yet.
For the time being.
So let's try to find a dude who's missing.
Boy, this is the place to catch a ride. You can paint all kinds of pretty colors to boot.
Oh. Yeah, I know, buddy. Such a weird cat. Oh yeah, we got an achievement. Sadly, every time an achievement pops up, it only pops up in the corner under my thing. But we just got the achievement for walking way more than we had to. The corpse matches the description. The word Ravers carved into his forehead with a knife. The man died clutching a note in his hand. Father, I've joined Crom's army. Don't try to come after me. They've given me a better life than you ever did. They call me Reaver. Eliminate Reaver and report back to New Haven. Okay. So to really answer that question, right. It's not that they don't get, any of them don't get enough love or too much love. The problem is they're always so hardcore designed around a theme or a feel. Where did I want to go? West Commons East. I guess I gotta walk there. Like, because Rakdos is always kind of locked into, we do all this crazy stuff. That the deck's not strong enough for, like, Selesnya is always tokens, so like right now with board wipes being huge and control being huge, the deck feels like it's missing a step. You know, I think blue-red always gets the most love because they're always going to put red spells and they're always going to put cantrips. And since red has haste and blue has fires, normally your creature sweep can be pretty good. I think Izzet always feels a little too pushed, maybe. And I think that I mean, like blue-green is kind of good because you get creatures and you get counter spells, but they kind of don't mix well together. Red-black, they always try to force into just this craziness ever since they came out with the idea of Rakdos, where, you know, red's cards are all about passion, so they have to be weird, and black's cards are always raw power, so you gotta always hurt yourself. You know, green-white is always, Selesnya is always just like these weird little, like, small creature strategies, and they can work, but sometimes they just don't have the speed to really work like they need to. Really, game? Well, I guess we stop here. But I definitely think that Izzet, to be able to answer part of that at least, Izzet always gets pushed too much. But that's just because, like I said, there will always be burn spells, there will always be cantrips. So, you can normally just make that work. You know, I think that Golgari normally has some really good presentations and things. You know, over the last couple of standard formats, like right now, you have the green-black deck, the Golgari mid-range running around. You had the green-black Constrictor last format. You know, it always seems to be a combination that's out there that's normally fairly solid. Maybe not necessarily one of the best decks at all times, but they've done pretty good as of late. Keeping Golgari, feeling very Golgari. you know, now when it comes to eternal formats, you know, yeah, it's kind of hard to be the police of colors when it's hard to police everything that has to be. But, you know, green black being rock, I think that, you know, it normally is. Actually, I don't want to go that way. I think I want to go this way. It normally is pretty solid. Oh, there we go. So I'll say at least for the most loved, there's two. We'll go green black, we'll go red blue. It's hard to say what's bad for the other ones, because for some sets they feel pushed more than others, or sometimes because they're so story driven that there will be a weird little black spot where like something that is normally solid is quite awful. Well, you know, it's like part of rock is that it's, you know, there's woes to it for sure. You know, it's not always the strongest deck. As you've seen, there's times when it's not the strongest, but it's always super solid. It's normally a fun deck to play too, because you normally have options. And even in the plays where you don't have options, unless you're just getting destroyed, like they rip the Magical Christmas Land, you know, turn 3 Tron, and just sadness resolves. You can still answer the cards, even if your lines of play are very reduced to what you can and can't do. You can normally at least do something. You know, I know Pow at one time.
Get out of here.
He used to be a big rock man. He used to be a big green black guy. And Pow also used to, you know, but Pow's always kind of a control player at heart, and it's mostly because people like control because they play scared. And it's so much easier to try to answer your opponent's questions than force them sometimes. So, you know, some control players, I've always said, they just play scared. Like, I remember when Cheese was continually getting blown out in Modern, and he couldn't beat the blue decks. That's when he completely changed his tone, and he's like, no, blue is the best thing ever because you can answer your opponent's cards, and you don't have to have plays because they just have to answer yours. Like, he kind of got shook to his core. And I will say, Cheese is a good control player. Like, I'm not taking anything away from the guy. But I feel like by wanting to play rock, that's technically like the harder of two choices. Super dude, there we go. This revolver is insane. And I think, like, for people who play rock well, I'm not just saying like they just play the deck. For people who play it well, like we do, and like Lily Edel when he was all about it. Those are some of like the best players in Magic. And And if they all think the deck is great, and they're consistently playing it, that says something about the deck. That says something about those colors. It says something about those cards. I think playing mid-range as a whole, not even just necessarily rock, gives you a better understanding of the game, because with control you can sit back, you can do nothing, you can frustrate an opponent out of a game, you can you know, just kind of make the game dull, and as soon as they get bored, some people disconnect from the game, so it's kind of like a free win. Okay, but with rock or a mid-range deck, you have to pay attention at all times, because at some point you might see a window and then you can force a play or a line of play onto your opponent. There's nothing here. Well, at least I found it. That because your deck can do stuff, it gives you advantages that other decks don't. Like with control, like I said, you're really, you know, yeah, you can bore them out of the game, but like you can rarely turn the corner and just start winning. As compared to with a rock deck, you can put pressure on your opponent. Next thing you know, you've turned the corner and now you're winning. Or because your deck has pressure, you can put the opponent into a bad situation, and if they're not smart enough, you can force them into making awkward plays or bad plays, which in turn should only help you if you can do stuff like that. I really think mid-range grindfests is what every new player should pick up, because they really do teach you the fundamentals of Magic. You're playing cards on both turns. You are continually having to be engaged in the game. You're trying to make plays, you're trying to stop plays. You know, just like personally for me, I am more of a control player. But as I've told some people who were newer to the game, playing a control deck doesn't mean slow play. You should be able to process every play that you have to do fairly quickly. And sadly, a lot of people can't do that.
Hi there.
Oh. It's really not that good. You know, if you can't assess situations quick enough, you're probably not winning that game. I'm gonna put a sniper on here. I like that. Your insightful thoughts on cards. You know, I don't like, for me, I don't know if they're necessarily insightful or just horrible perspectives on a poor opinion. But I mean, you have to be able to play every aspect of the game, right? And that's hopefully what a good mid-range deck should allow you to do. You know, you should never just necessarily be out of a game. You know, like with control, it can clearly snowball and you're just done. And that can happen with mid-range too, but at least you have pressure, so if it starts to go bad, you yourself can try to turn a corner, and hopefully prevent yourself from just getting smushed. Hopefully. I feel like at this point too, all of my opinions, at least cardboard related, should be 100% take it with a grain of salt, just because we haven't been playing as much anymore. So like, you know, I said back when I still had the store that the game was past me, and I was starting to kind of become an old guy. Clearly I didn't get any younger, and I've been playing a lot less. So I feel like my opinion's probably even worse now. But yeah, it's good to have your own opinion. Especially if you can learn from them, because your opinion's, yeah, it's yours, so it's not technically wrong. But someone else might be able to open you up on like a line of play that you never saw, or you know, something interesting about your deck that, I mean, yeah, it's your deck and you play it, but you didn't realize it was there. Yeah, this shotgun's, gotta sell, that gun sucks. Why am I here? And I also know too, like, even if I did sell all my cards and I never owned a physical card ever again, I would still keep up on Magic like crazy. It's really hard to just shake it out of your system when you love something a lot or you have legit passion about it. It's very hard to just kind of give up the ghost and let it go sometimes. And I think right now that's kind of where I am in my life. Like, I know I'm not playing a lot. I would like to play more in real life, but I know for a fact I'm never going to drag my lazy ass out of my house to go play. So there's no point for me to pretend to myself that I will. You know, clearly I'll keep my deck so when I come back to visit, you know, I can jam cards with my homies. I'm still going to keep up on sideboard techs and stuff, so like, if a tournament does spring up, that I'm not playing with a 1987 modern deck, because that would be stupid. That sucked. No, that one is a lot stronger, yeah. Like, why aren't these guys dropping fuses? Is there a secret to this? Well, I guess I'll just pop out as they pop out. I'm gonna do about that. Oh. And we'll put our skill point quick into our Quicksilver. What do we got going on here? Oh. They're in the trash piles. Okay. I was gonna say, I thought the dudes dropped them. Clearly. They do not. I do like though how on my my Facebook status the other day that some people were just like, should we start another GoFundMe to see if we can get him to get back and open up the store? And they were like, how much do we gotta do? And I'm like, yeah, it's way too much, guys. Then I had some people DM me and they were like, nah, for real, like, how much we gotta do to actually get you back. You can't just be gone forever. That's not okay. Okay, the elephant gun sucks. We're just gonna dump that. I feel like we can just dump the blister at this point. Our shotgun is better. We're gonna sell Sledge's shotgun because that's just a joke. We'll get rid of that because we know we're not gonna use it.
Hi there.
And while it'll always be a part of my system, like I'll always have the knack to run a store, and you know, like I was telling Rachel, I said, technically it is something I can do with the way my leg is. I'm happy where I am. I'm so glad we ended up out here. You know, I love what I do, even if it's not a whole lot right now. The weather feels good. That was the dumbest mission ever. Quickly shoot 5 dudes with your vehicle. Skill? Question mark? So for anybody just joining, Borderlands #1, Lilith playthrough. We're letting the chat decide where my points go as I get them. We've also been discussing a lot of magic-related topics tonight with Vitamin K. He's one of my homies from my old homeworld. What do I currently got on for my thing again? Phoenix Girl Power and Intuition. Do I even use any of those? I don't, but it's not. Well, it's not to say that I won't. And also for our beer of the night, another shameless plug for this, New Belgium, it's called the Hemperor. It is a HPA, so it's a take on an IPA. It is brewed with some hemp seed and other stuff, so it has a very Mary J flavor to it.
Hello again.
Which is quite interesting. Not 100% sure how I feel about it yet. It's interesting. It's interesting.
There are new missions available at the Middle of Nowhere bounty board.
Wait. Oh, middle of nowhere. Okay. No. I don't want to go to Roscommon's East. Grody. Well, I mean, okay. So even if things have a good rating, oh hey, it actually took me to the proper spot. Like I said, it has a very distinct taste to it, and I could see a lot of people going, I don't like this, just because the taste on it is quite potent. Like I said, I am enjoying it, but I could see a lot of people who just kind of throw their nose up to it and go, this is not for me. And I wouldn't even hate on them for it, because like Rachel cracked the top on it for me and brought it to me, and she was like, oh my god, it smells so bad. And then she took a swig and she was like, oh my god, this isn't right. Like, she really wasn't a fan. That is fine, because, you know, we appreciate different beers, but I could see why this beer would have a high rating. It's not a bad beer by any means. It's just if you can't get past the hemp flavoring on it, like, yeah, you're not gonna be a big fan. at all for any reason. But I do know that they're coming out with more hemp brewed beers. That seems to be like the newest hotness that's arriving. Okay, well, we're clearly not going this way. And I'm pretty sure is the first one, like as time goes on, usually they can do a pretty good job at making them taste really, really good. Milk stouts have come a long way from when they started, as have nitros and stuff like that, so I'm sure in time they'll figure out the proper... But I think for a first shot it's pretty good. I mean, like I said, it's interesting. So if you don't really like the Mary J taste, you're not going to be able to choke it down. And then for tomorrow night's stream, we also have another interesting new beer. Rachel found a whole bunch of crazy ones today. We didn't overdo it. We figured just grab a couple for now, because with the weird ones come the trial and error period where you can try it, and if it sucks, you know, then you just have 5 more sitting in your fridge that you're never going to touch. Oops. But yeah, the one beer place we like to go to, they have ratings from several places labeled for each of their good beers, so people are more inclined to try them. Get Shrek, man. Oh, and so I know that we were gonna try to have me come back for that May tournament, and that definitely fell through. Like that's not gonna happen. But if there's any tournaments in April, that's when my mom's birthday is. And my grandpa's like, you better come back and see your mom, you bum. So I could be back visiting Wisconsin in April. Depending on where life has me at that point. So just a small little heads up for anyone watching who's from Wisconsin.
Kill them all!
I feel like I took that long way around. I don't know why I did that.
Look at you roll. Alright, sure catch a ride now.
Okay, so it's just a catch a ride. Like I said, nothing guaranteed yet, but that would probably be the next best bet. Oh, I gotta hit the jump button, not the run button. I'm so used to playing Morrowind right now, how I have my buttons laid out on that I keep pushing the wrong ones on here, figuring I'm going to do the same things I do on Morrowind, which I still couldn't get fixed, but it's been crashing a lot less for us, so I've been able to play it kind of in my free time, which was cool, because then I can at least get some use out of it. tournaments in April. I recommend you guys kind of keep an eye out for that. It's probably the next best bet for when I'll be back. What the hell? Where's this last piece? Maybe this last piece would have been like right here somewhere. And the good thing too is that I can keep up with my streaming from there, so it's not like I have to like shut it down for a week, which would be cool too. I know Thane was like, you could do some I'm back in Wisconsin streams, and I'm like, well, I don't think anyone's gonna necessarily care about that, but like, whoa, oh no. Where's this last piece? Wow. Well, I guess we found it.
That's where the cars live. Get you one.
Experience the game gives you because you crush things with your vehicle. It totally sucks. I understand it's easier to smush them, but so what I'm thinking is here is we'll do this mission. We'll find our journal pieces. We'll go turn these in, and then I think we'll call it a night. And you have a good night, Vitamin K. Dad duty sounds sweet, so have fun with that. You too, my dude.
Day 578. I haven't slept in 3 days. I just ate 6 bugs in alphabetical order, starting with Carabus auronitis and ending with a dessert of Tetrix antellata. The information that I've uncovered from my automated deciphering has me closing in on the location of this event. An event I believe to be the opening of the vault. Echo Recorder and I are not together anymore, but I wish him the best, and we remain friends, so that I can keep recording these messages. He agreed, because we need to complete what we set out to do, and document the intensive search for the mythic vault. It's not a myth. It's real. Day 616. Sometimes I wish I had never been given this assignment, and never come to Pandora. Dahl has asked me to leave. The transmission said it's time to go. Everyone has left, except the criminals who they've let loose. They won't be my friends. So I had decided to return to leave as Dahl has ordered, but then I found something. I think it is the key to the vault. It proves the vault is real, and that it's here on Pandora and that it can be mine. I also learned that, by my calculations, we're near the 200th anniversary of the last vault opening. Within half a year, approximately. If I leave now, I will never make it back in time. I will stay. Maybe one of the convicts will be my friend.
actually a pretty good one.
Day 653. Today is my birthday. I've been alone for an incalculable amount of time. A convict accidentally crossed over into my encampment this morning, and I allowed him to look about before I shot him in the back several times. I was immediately filled with regret upon doing this, because the human contact, no matter how awkward, would have been nice. I've decided his name was Leslie, and he had a troubled childhood where people would make fun of him for having a girl's name. And the torment eventually led Leslie to a life of crime and debauchery. There was a tattoo on his bum that looked not unlike the name Patricia. Might have been that tattoo. The experience compelled me to move the vault key fragment I found so that it can be safe. It's extremely important, so I've given it to the man known as Crazy Earl. He's not crazy. He doesn't like people. The vault key will be safe with him. I also gave him my underwear.
Just so anyone knows, if you're just tuning in, normally for the journal entries, we go silent so we can actually hear those, and so everyone at home can hear those as well.
Day 684. I seem to be unable to leave the camp anymore. I've collected all of the information I need to be able to find the vault. I'm overcome with terror and instantaneous paralyzation upon any attempt to leave my confines. I believe I have some kind of psychosis. Whatever it is, I'm a prisoner of my own jail, and I will not be able to find anything without help from an outside party. I will put out feelers to see if I can get someone on this rock to grant me assistance. Perhaps I can send an off-world message to attract some vault hunters. Some company would be lovely.
What's up? How are you doing this evening?
Day 718. I woke up outside the camp today. I don't know how I got outside, but I seem to have overcome my inability to leave. This will be my last recording before I scatter the echo recordings as far as I can. My echo recorder has clearly gone crazy, and if I'm not careful, I too might go insane. I will come back and resume my research when I have rid myself of this two-timing recorder. This is Patricia Tannis, signing out.
Yeah, this is pretty much a new character for us. We were streaming Morrowind for a while, and it was just crashing on us uncontrollably. So we got kind of burnt out on that. Ooh, I gotta put my fan on. And we switched it over to Borderlands because I love the game, and I haven't played it in so long. I know I put way too much time into this growing up. But it was a game that I just hadn't played in a while. So I was like, you know what, let's just do some Borderlands. So I had a vote over on the Discord and on the Facebook page to see what people wanted me to play as. And Siren got voted. So we went with Siren. Honestly, way back in the day of the yesteryears and the long ago, we played her the least, so it's actually been kind of fun. I forgot how strong she was. The Siren just feels so strong. Maybe it's just me, but I don't know. The phase walk seems like it's really powerful, like really powerful. So we're just kind of doing a playthrough for our weekend streams, just because normally during the week we play a lot of Magic the Gathering and Hearthstone, and you can play too much of those kind of games and get really burnt out on them. So I was like, what's something that would make me happy and keep me occupied?
Are you about ready to get rolling?
You know, that's casual enough
Real doctor, when you got my machine
for me to be able to just kind of interact with the chat while I'm playing something. Don't get me wrong, it's fun to play games hyper competitively and all that good stuff, but it is nice to be able to just sit back and ask people how they're doing, how their day was, have people ask you that back. So it kind of fills the void for that for us. Really? Wow. Okay. Well, fire damage is okay, but whatever. If it's just inherently weaker, we'll just dump it. I hope this doesn't go bad on us. Dump that. So what do we got here? Okay. Well, then I'd rather just have that.
Get your mints here.
Alright, now I have to ask you a question back before I can answer that. Are we talking about like playable characters, or like do NPCs count, or and then are you talking about like in general or just from Borderlands 1? Because that answer can be many a things and all over the place. Okay. Well, no, I mean, you know, some people they'll ask a question. I just want to make sure I'm interpreting it right, so I can actually give a legit answer, or at least an answer to what they're looking for. So I guess from playable from number 1, character-wise, I really liked Brick. Though I kind of felt like he was the hard mode, because it does take him many levels to make him kind of be able self-sustainable, especially when you're dealing with like rockets and that. I think from number 2, I really liked the Gunzerker a lot. I really like Salvador. And then I think from the pre-sequel, I'm probably gonna cheat and say the Handsome Jack doppelganger, only because I absolutely love Handsome Jack as a character. So I mean, that's kind of a cop-out, but yeah, I feel like those are 100% honest answers. I think if we're gonna go for non-playables as well, this one is easily just Torg. I love Torg. His character is so just over the top in your face. Now I suppose I'll ask you the same question back. Who did you like playable from each game? I still think it's weird when a shotgun comes with the scope. It just makes no sense.
Get those some bitches.
Puppets!
That is not the way I wanted to switch that gun to, but whatever. Gun's been okay for us so far. And I guess being able to play as a claptrap was kind of cool too. I did enjoy that a little bit. something about being able to play as the heavies. I thought Brick's punching thing was really sweet. I did love the names on some of Gunzerker's skill trees, or the abilities.
Alright, boys, take them out!
And while I did go through the games a lot too, when they originally came out, I never really played them alone, so I'd always ask my buddy, like, okay, what do you want to play? And then, you know, what do you think will complement you well? Most of the time, he always picks Siren in just about every game. Okay, I just, like I said, I love Handsome Jack as a character, so like, I would 100%, just, for me, Handsome Jack. Now, I think that's a pretty good 3. And it's not just because we matched 2 out of 3. Though that's a little biased and it helps a little bit. Let's compare that here to what I have equipped. Yeah, you're technically better, sure. See, but now here's one of the harder questions that a lot of people normally don't share the same answer with me.
Who needs a real doctor when you got my machines and their scary needles?
See, I completely agree with you that the Siren is busted, and I also feel that Salvador was pretty OP as well. But going in the first time I went through it, like I was very unaware of that, and I was just like, well, I like Brick in the last game, right? So let's go with this. No, I remember a couple times my buddy and I would accidentally like hit each other to initiate a fight, and he would just activate his phase walk and I was dead, and I was like, how is this even fair? Like, you one-shot me without even actually having to fire a gun. And I like Sal only because like the team regeneration on the ammo and stuff. Some of his abilities are definitely over the top for sure. I know a lot of people might get sad at this, but like, I never really enjoyed any of the soldier characters. Roland kind of had that weird like artist vibe. Could never really get into him. I did like Wilhelm, but I really didn't like the pre-sequel all that much. Like, I felt the game left a lot to be desired. And then, what was his name? Axon or Axel from the second one. I don't know. I kind of felt like it was more of the same. Just couldn't really get into it. I wanted to. I really did. And I don't know. Like how I just bought a shield and immediately get a better one. Well, I guess that's okay. Oh, yeah, I got a little sidetracked there. So, which Borderlands do you like better, number 1 or number 2? Personally, for me, I like number 1 better. I will say 2 did add a lot of stuff. But, like, for me personally, when you went into 1, it was more of a fresh feeling as compared to number 2. Kind of expected it to be more the same. So I personally, I love number 1 a lot more. But I know a lot of people, they love 2 more. Let's see. Definitely. fight is over, I definitely can. That is easy. Okay. Hopefully that helps. And then the vote was to put that in there. Oops. Okay. Yeah, never have any problem tweaking the sound. That's easy to fix. And the people that were in here earlier never complained about it, so I thought it was okay. If it was a little loud, that's fine. Now see, I initially played all the Borderlands the first go around, all on console. We actually just got a computer that could play games recently. Hello Thane, what's up my dude? So like, we're sort of new to the whole PC thing. But I was, you know, like this was a game that I absolutely loved. And I was like, well, oh yeah, hun. Got a scream running around the house yelling at the cat. Not in a bad way. But no, see, I'm glad that you said though that you thought Lilith was busted. And it's not just because I agree with that, though I do completely agree with that. I'm glad that you liked one more. Because normally most people are just like, nah, one was not better. It's all about number 2. And don't get me wrong, 2 was fine. But I personally just love number 1 more. This is going to be a bad one. I don't think I can beat this, we'll see. That's exactly not what I wanted to have on there. Oh, we don't get up here. Right. Yeah, if you come look at my screen while you're looking at that, hun, there's like a split delay. So I can't always just like use my extra screen. Which I guess is okay. Oh, I'm probably not getting up here, we'll see. Come on. Come on. No. Rip. I can't believe I done died there. Let me see here. So I think we'll turn this into a rocket launcher. And we'll get rid of the sniper. Everything else should be okay-ish. Should be okay-ish. Not that. We don't have to, I guess. It should be fine. See, for me, when the pre-sequel came out at that time, I had a job that I was very, very committed to, and it was hard for me to get any free time in, so I could never really just like sit down and tackle the pre-sequel. But I never really got super invested in the story. I want to say like I had the DLCs, but I don't remember going through them if I did. To me, it kind of felt like the pre-sequel
teach him a lesson.
was almost like it could have been a DLC for 2. I don't feel like it was necessarily warranted to be its own game. Yeah, we're gonna leave him up just so we have a weak target if we get downed again. Because we probably will. And we accidentally fried him. I lied, I do remember some of the DLC now. Yeah, it was pretty lackluster. Get rid of him now since that other big guy is gone. Uh-oh. Dead again. Ah. Well, I know that one's a little weaker, but it's got the fire damage, which is pretty good versus the humans. I think we're going again. Here we go. Actually, I want to get rid of that. Let's put that on to... I know it's a little weaker, but it's got more fire rate. I know over the course of, you know, however long, we're going to go through 1. I want to go through 2 again. I'm probably going to go through the pre-sequel just because I'm super excited that the 3rd one's coming out. Okay. So I know this one is the absolute incorrect answer, but it's my opinion, so we're just gonna say it's right. My favorite boss in number 1 was probably Ninetoes, only because he has 3 balls. If it wasn't for that little stupid the 3 balls thing, like I probably wouldn't care for him at all. But I remember when I first saw that, I was just like, that's actually pretty funny. And yeah, I saw the whole thing with that, and that's going on, and that's just like one gigantic mess. That was a bad shot. That was a bad shot? Oh, no way. What? Maybe I'm not quite yet ready to do this mission, which sucks. Yeah, we're not. Well, I guess the good thing in this game is, for the most part, your money's not hyper relevant. But yeah, that whole story is just unraveling into one big giant mess. It's really sad the way that's that whole thing is just breaking down, because that's rough. But I'm just like super thrilled that a 3rd's finally gonna hopefully come out. I'm hoping it's a lot like, you know, 1, 2, and pre-sequel, where I don't want a whole bunch of weird microtransactions. Like, if they want to have, you know, DLC, I'm fine with that. You know, if they want to charge you the buck a skin or whatever, or $3 for a skin pack or whatever, like, that's fine. That stuff doesn't bother me. But I'm hoping that they don't have these weird locked paywalls and stuff. Because with the way the gaming industry is right now, with trying to shoehorn all, you know, battle royale modes into their game and sort of have this completely unneeded forced DLC and stuff, I'm really hoping that they do this right, because Borderlands is one of my favorite franchises, and I'd really hate for it to come out and just be like DLC happy. You know, I'm okay if it's a lot like 1. I would be fine if it was like 2. I just want another solid Borderlands experience, you know. And part of me says, oh, it's going to be really hard for them to ruin this. But there's also that part of me that's just so afraid of the way the gaming industry is right now, that it's not going to be that hard for them to somehow mess it up. Uh-oh. Oh, Kame, why did I do that? We'll just respawn. We know ain't nothing attacking us. So, like I said, fingers crossed that it pans out okay. Where did I end up? Where did I end up? I went far back. Not cool. So I would be happy with whatever. You know, something I do feel was lacking from 1 was, like, I found the ending to kind of be a little bit of a letdown. It wasn't quite the ending I wanted. I mean, it's okay, I guess, knowing that a 2 came out, because it kind of did leave it open-ended. So if they would have ended the game that way, and a 2 never would have come out, I'd have been pretty upset. But I think that they have, you know, a real opportunity to have a really good cash cow in their hands. As long as they don't try to do anything too crazy with it. I know earlier in the chat, Thane100 was saying that he had heard that the new game potentially wasn't going to take place on Pandora. And, like, I'm okay with that. There was some alleged spoilers that came out about some of the characters. Okay. They had released, I guess, some of the skills, because he shared me like one of the pictures for what the skills were on the new soldier, and he went pretty crazy over them. If they're true or not, I don't know, but I'm also hoping the game doesn't break my heart, because normally I have a 3-week rule when a new game comes out, where I won't buy it for 3 weeks, just to make sure that the game is getting decent reviews and it's not coming out spotty, or, you know, doing what like Call of Duty did, where it's all of a sudden just shoehorning in all this DLC and stuff. Or I guess not DLC, but microtransactions. But I will get Borderlands the day it comes out. I guess at least for PC. I don't know if I'll necessarily get it for console or not. My buddy that I went through all my other ones with are now states upon states away from me, so it wouldn't be very easy for us to we really wanted to play it more couch co-op because we played all the other ones that way, so for us it's kind of hard to just not play that way. Wow. I don't think I have any healing on me anymore, do I? Oh, better than that. Wait, what? What hit me? That's messed up. Really? I didn't even see that there. Come on. Yeah. Well, I had my, I guess like my designated, quote unquote designated, video game buddy, and anytime a really sweet player would come out, like, even if I didn't like the style of the game, I'd play it because he'd want to, and then even if he didn't like the style of the game, but I wanted to play it, you know, we'd split the cost of the game and play it together. So we ended up playing games almost non-stop together when we had time for about 10 years. Like, we went crazy on it. We would only pretty much play together. And now that I moved away, he's kind of like, because we'd get the Pokemon games, I'd always get the opposite color of him. And now that I'm gone, he's kind of like, gaming sucks. I want my buddy back. But, you know, things come up and sometimes you gotta move, and that's how that kind of shakes out, and for better or for worse, you know, it happens. That was not the button I wanted to hit. Where's my sniper gun? No, no, no. Oh, right before I could go into my phase walk. Come on, game, for real? Why you gotta do this to me like this? You're doing me dirty now. No, I didn't want to spawn the vehicle, I wanted to spawn two vehicle. Oh well. But, you know, it feels good to have this game back in my hands though. I love this game. And now that we're kind of used to playing with a keyboard and mouse, it feels really good to play like first person shooters on a keyboard and mouse. Like really, really good. No. That's not what I thought the turret was. Come on. Oh, we're so close. There we go. And then for anyone who's watching, just so you guys know, we will be shutting her down soon here. I got some stuff to take care of in the morning, in the early morning. But it just seems like every time I start to play this game, it's hard for me to put down, you know, all the memories and stuff like that. Like, It's hard to believe, you know, you look at a game, you're like, oh, I love that game, and then you see how old it is, and it's just like, is it really that, has it really been that long since this game has come out? Wait. Oh, we're not even doing that much damage to it. There you go. Oh, hey now. So our normal stream schedule, at least for Borderlands, is every Friday, or not Friday, Saturday, Sunday at 5 p.m. PST. So tomorrow, depending on where you live, could be different, but we're definitely streaming tomorrow night, so. And it will be Borderlands. Is that even good? No, it's not good. But I hope you you enjoy the rest of your evening. Cool. You have a good night as well. Bang. Oh, my headset's about to die. Well, good thing we're about to bounce off. Go in here, let it save, and then we'll be jumping off. Did it save? Yeah, it saved. Okay, cool. So for anyone still in here, hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a wonderful night. And I hope to see you tomorrow for some more Borderlands 1 Lilith playthrough action. Have a good day tomorrow.